What's up, everybody? Matt Gajewski here, back again with the Odd Shopper channel. And today we're talking college football for no house advantage. Before we get into that, make sure to hit the thumbs up button on the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other content goes live. This is a brand new video to the channel. Maybe you saw Ben Raza do it last week, but No House Advantage is a platform that is newly offering some college football props that you guys should take advantage of. The first thing I want to tell you about with No House Advantage is they're going to give you a $50 free first match deposit bonus on their platform. You can take advantage of that by hitting the link in the video description below. But let's talk to you about No House Advantage. There's a lot of things they have to offer, and it's not just college football. We'll dive into the picks in just a second here, but I'm going to bring you over to their platform. They have a couple different contests you can play. So if you're into NFL, some other sports, you can definitely hit up their pick'em contests. These function more like tournaments where you're basically playing these pick'em contests versus other people with your shot at winning $150K in cash. And these tournaments often overlay, and we're always trying to find the best ways to allocate our money on this channel. So these are a great way to do so. But for college football specifically, you're going to go over and hit this versus the house. Now you're going to see over-unders. This is NBA. We'll hit October 22nd. That'll bring us to the college football section where we're trying to hit overs and unders on these specific props. And the way you're doing this is you can bet up to 5 player props, overs, unders. It's your normal statistical categories we know and love on these platforms. And right now, they just released their college football ones today. So there's only a few games. This will expand throughout the weekend. I actually think there's quite a bit of value here. Like normal books, there's value if you get these right away. And I want to start on this particular slate with the Clemson game. So they're taking on Syracuse. It's a battle of unbeatens. Clemson is currently a 14-point favorite. And one way to leverage this is hitting an over on Will Shipley. So in this spot, Will Shipley is averaging just over 80 rushing yards per game as it is. Now, this is a game where they're 14-point favorites. Pretty good total here. Syracuse has been a bit of a paper tiger in terms of run defense. So those automatically work in Shipley's favor. And from there, we had Clemson suffering an injury in their backfield to Kobe Pace not that long ago, about 2 weeks now. An ankle injury, he's not going to play. That's reduced their backfield committee from 3 down to 2. And since then, we've seen Shipley take on an expanded role. He had 20 carries in their most recent game. Now, they were already willing to give him that kind of opportunity in condensed games, competitive games, but now they don't have as many alternatives either. So Will Shipley is a guy I think we can lock in on the over for this game. He's a player I really like in this spot. Heading down the list, we have a really interesting shootout game, potential shootout game. The total's above 70 in this Oregon-UCLA game, another really big rivalry game. The winner of this is going to be the favorite to win the Pac-12. Bo Nix comes in projected at 265.5 passing yards. This might seem like a lot for Bo Nix for those of you that have followed him at Auburn. Well, he's having a phenomenal year, a hyper-efficient year. The only thing that's really causing any concern are turnovers with Nix, and that's not new for him. But on the year, he's averaging 254 passing yards per game, about 31 attempts. Those are awesome metrics. And UCLA's defense, they've certainly been a little giving against the pass. They haven't played the most difficult level of competition, so their numbers look pretty good defensive-wise. But Bo Nix has been dicing up opposing defenses. He actually moved the ball really well against Georgia, and if it weren't for a couple turnovers in Georgia territory, interceptions, Bo Nix would have been on his way to an awesome game himself there. So in this environment, where Oregon is a 6-point favorite against UCLA with a total above 70, this 265.5 passing yards is actually pretty generous in favor of Bo Nix. This is one we like a lot. We'll be hitting this. Another over, and I promise you this won't just be all overs on this show today and in the future, really. We're looking at Zach Charbonnet, 96.5 rushing yards. He had a limited workload to start the year because of injury. So there was a game he missed entirely. Then in back-to-back games, he had just 13 carries and 9 carries. Again, partially due to injury, partially due to just opponents in blowout games. But in the 2 most recent games, Charbonnet has carried 22 times apiece. These are in more competitive game environments. And even on the limited workload, this guy's averaging 123 rush yards per game. Now, Oregon, they're another one of these teams that has a pretty good run defense on paper, but who have they played? Well, they played Georgia. That's a phenomenal win. But outside of that, they've played weaker competition within their conference. So when you look at yards per carry allowed, it's 3.7. That's pretty good. But let's cross-reference this with Pro Football Focus run defense grades. Oregon is outside the top 100. Charbonnet's been efficient against some of the best competition throughout his career. He's a Michigan transfer, phenomenal year last year. This is another player I think we can leverage towards the over in the spot in what should be an awesome shootout game environment. The last guy I want to talk about here is DJ Uiagalelei, and this is another over. It's the last one for today. They won't all be overs in the future, promise, but 220 passing yards for DJ Uiagalelei. This is a spot where really the entire Clemson offense is underprojected, given their projected team total on this slate. That's above 30 points. We mentioned Syracuse as a matchup. They've played one of the easiest schedules among Power 5 teams so far this year. And Uiagalelei, we have to give him credit. He's actually been pretty efficient. This guy's averaging 238 passing yards per game on just 30 attempts. Completion percentage, well over 60%. Yards per attempt, well over 7. It's a drastic improvement for him. And it's not just Uiagalelei. The weapons are improved compared to last year. Another guy's name you're seeing on this screen, Antonio Williams, he's a stud freshman for this team, coming on as their really number one receiver at this point in the season. We don't quite like his over as much as we like Uiagalelei's, but he's a big reason for the over on this prop. Uiagalelei, whether it's been in competitive games or in games they're actually winning, the efficiency is what's gotten him there. And on the back end of our projections, we give this about 20 yards of value. Even if you just use season averages, it's about 20 yards of value. And again, I think the entire Clemson offense is coming in under projected for this slate because Syracuse on paper has a great defense. Again, I think that's schedule related, level of competition related, if you will. But there's a lot of players here that have potential towards the over on this slate. And these are players I wouldn't be surprised that come in far above some of these numbers that are listed. But again, it's just 2 games for now. They're going to release more of these throughout the day. So if you're watching this on Saturday morning and you check back, you're probably going to see more and more opportunity to take advantage of these. You can always cross-reference with our projections on Stochastic. We have full college football projections available for you guys, so make sure to check that out. And again, if you deposit for the first time, you're going to get up to a $50 first match deposit bonus. Check out their NFL contest. Again, if you go back over to the Pick'em side, this is where you can play versus other people. Tons of overlay in these. NFL, MLB, NBA, you name it, they have it. So make sure to check out No House Advantage. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think of these picks. I would love to hear it. Otherwise, we'll be back next week with the next slate of college football picks. Hit the thumbs up button on the way out. But I am Matt Gajewski. You can follow me on Twitter at Matt_Gajewski. This is the Odd Shopper channel. Make sure to subscribe. Otherwise, we'll see you guys again next time. Good luck, everyone.